Hey guys, so yeah, this is the profit we made from the trade, and this is the signal that I gave. We milked it at Sniper. So in this video, I'm just going to go through the whole process. I'm teaching a student how I did it live on Zoom video. So I'm just going to go through the process with the student, and I hope this video is going to be very helpful to you on your trading. Do subscribe and turn on your notification channel bell if you want to receive more videos like that. Thank you very much.
So this is what you do. So what you do is from here to there, that's correct. But there's a trend here. So you can't just draw something like this without first knowing if this trend has been invalidated or if the trend has ended. If this trend has ended, that's the ending of it is there's a breakout and a retest. Then that's when you know that it has ended. But if it has not ended, if it has ended, you can draw this that you drew. But if it has not ended, this is very wrong. You understand? So I'm first of all going to check if the trend has ended.
Okay.
Sorry. And now if I look at this trend, let's go to H4. You can see that the trend has ended. It broke out here and retested here. Can you see it?
It's not clear.
Can you see it? You know what a breakout is, right?
Yeah, I know what a breakout is.
So it broke out from the trend line and retested here.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that part.
This is a breakout and retest. Breakout is it leaves the trend line and then it retests back to the trend line.
Okay.
You didn't watch the videos?
I did watch the videos.
Especially the beginning parts. I did talk about it. You don't know what the breakout is. You know the three things we're watching out in the market, right? The trending, the breakouts, and what's the last? What's the third one? The ranging markets. Those are the three things we're watching out for in the market. And so in this one, in the trending, a trend line can never go forever a buy. At a point, it's going to start selling. And so for it to start selling, it must tell you, it must give you a confirmation that it has stopped buying. If not, that sell could just be a retrace or could just be a minor resistance. So this is what we're having here. This is the trend that we drew all the way down. So before I can confidently say that this trend line is done, I'd have to see something like this, a breakout,
no retest.
A retest to that same. If there's no retest, normally there's always a breakout. If there's no retest, then it's useless. It's okay. So now there's also another. Now when there's a breakout and a retest, the market started buying, as you can see here. So it has formed a new trend. Now, normally, if I'm going to analyze this market, I'm not going to talk about this trend. But because we are here for the first time, so I'm going to try to talk about it with you. So you also have to check this trend and know what's happened there. And then if you look at this trend as well, you can see here as well that there was a breakout and the retest to this place. If I use 1 hour, I believe that's where you see it the most. There was a breakout all the way down, and there was a retest. You can see the retest, right?
Yes.
So this trend line is done for as well.
Okay.
So here, this part, I can as well decide to leave it. This part, this whole part, I can as well decide to leave it. Or I can draw that same thing you drew, connecting this top one here with this, and subsequently like that. And now, that's not what we're looking at now, because we are done with that part. That part is not happening. That's what happened before, though, and it's been long. So now this, we want to go where the market is currently at. And this is where the market is currently at. So we'll find the lowest load. Since this market now, let me delete this so that I don't confuse you with any of it. I gave a signal on the trade and was selling, and just it I take profit, I'll close soon. So that's why you can see a sell there.
Okay.
So this is, this is where we are at the market. So why I choose here is because this place is the lowest for this market, and this is the highest for this market. And then this area is where the market is currently at. That's why I chose it like that. So try to zoom in. So you can see that there's a trend here, and I'll try to draw that trend. First of all, the trend went like this, but there were invalidations. If you've watched the other YouTube videos I've done with others, you'd see that once there's an invalidation, you keep moving your trend line. Here, there's also an invalidation. Invalidation is when it crosses the trend line and is not a retest. It crosses the trend line, goes back into the trend line. That's an invalidation, like this is doing. And once there's an invalidation, you keep taking the trend line all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. So before this thing now, before I give the signal, this area in the market has not happened. So this was my analysis before then, before all these things happened. This was my analysis then.
Okay.
So I have ascertained from there. You remember in the YouTube videos, I always said before you take a trade, your higher time frame must agree with whatever you're having in your lower time frame. So now this higher time frame is telling us that this market is selling. And that's one confirmation, because how is it selling? It's sold here and retested. That means it's up for a sell, right? If you don't understand any part, you can draw my attention to it.
No, it's still good so far.
Oh, okay. So the market is selling, and then it retested here. So it's selling, so tested and it's selling. So I now have a conclusion that my higher time frame is telling me to sell. So if I go to a lower time frame and it's telling me to buy, I won't take the trade. I would neither sell nor buy, because they are both contradictory. The higher time frame is saying saying something totally different from what the lower is saying. So they must agree. So now you go to the M30, and you see that there's also a trend here. There's also a trend here. Now I can decide to draw this trend like this. It's very correct. But before this market reaches here, it's going to take a while. So it's as good as useless. So I'll use this one as my next factor here, this one. And remember what I always said about market invalidation. So now if I have something like this, now this here means a buy and a retest, right? But the market has to buy from here. Can you hear me?
Yes, going up. Yes, I see that point.
That's because the trend line was not drawn correctly. So if you don't draw the trend line correctly, you might get wrong view. This was how I drew it before. And it was telling me that I should buy. But for me to draw the trend line correctly, I'm starting from this top place here, from that peak, like this. Sorry, this was a slight mistake. and connected it to here, which is the next one. So now like that, using that, you'd see that there was no retest here. There's still a lot of space. So the retest never actually happened. So this market is still viable for us. So I can read this like this. This was how the market saw. This was how, yes, this was how the market was. So going back to my 15 minutes, see that the market has reached here. So it's also ripe for another sell. This is where the market has. It's also ripe for another sell. The market is ripe for a sell. So I'll have to confirm first from my smaller time frame to be able to go to. So I'll go to the M5. I can decide to go like this. Let me go to M1. And as well use M1 sometimes when trading. There was a trend here. And that trend we tested here. You can like the smaller time frame is telling you the same thing, that this market is ripe for it. So I took the sell and the market sold all the way down here. And now it has started. Our TP actually was here around this area that the market started going bizarre around here. So it has reached the TP and we are free to close the trade now. So I think that's it. Is there any confusion in it?
I think maybe. Wait, did you take your sell for this one?
Huh?
Just to confirm that one. Wait, did you take your sell for this one? Which point?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get the question.
I'm asking where you took your sell for this one.
Oh, okay. The place the arrow is showing, that's where the sell took place. Yeah. And see the arrow.
Oh, the downward trend. Oh, you took the sell from there all the way down. Oh yes, maybe one question I would like to ask. How do you spot the difference between a sniper entry and just a normal entry?
There isn't much difference. Most of the trades are sniper. If you're using the strategy sniper, if when the market was here, can you see where the cross is? Here, I decided to sell here. That's not a sniper. The lower time frame has not given me a valid option. But I took it here because the lower time frame gave me a valid option for a sell. So I'm always taking the lower time frame and the higher time frame agrees. So that's when I'll know, okay, yes, that this market has a high possibility of going down from this area. Consider the time frames are accurate and the 10 trend lines are accurate and giving you the points to take your sells and buys from. So